Hello, welcome back to Remnant 2. Now it's December and the developers haven't released a patch that should have fixed most of our problems. Currently the game is in a bad state with a lot of bugs, hard caps, interactions not working, and some of the effects clearly not working as intended, like the Ritualist increasing the damage over time effects but not the damage. Anyway, I hope they fix it and I hope the developers get a grip on what they're doing with the game, because currently there's not much quality control or much quality in general. Yeah, I wanted to say that because all of these builds are based on the content and the updates that happened during the patch and during the DLC, of course. So, what have we here? Let's begin with the loadout. So this is one of the more unique loadouts. By the way, all of my loadouts are designed to do three things. 1. Be efficient. 2. Do damage. Number 3. Well, be fun and sort of push the limits of the game as well. So some of the builds will not be as impressive as some other people will tell you, but at the same time I'm not shooting a dummy in the head and saying this is 5000 damage. No, I'm just playing the game as it should be played, because all of the bosses have very interesting things to show you. Anyway, this build over here is the tankiest you can get in the game. As you can see, I have 188 HP, but still we have a lot of other things that work for us, which is having a lot of lifesteal. Now you can have 7 max concoctions, but there is a catch to this. If you die, you lose 2 of them, so be careful. And also, you can go way over the cap limit of the damage reduction, so it doesn't really matter. Just make sure you don't go over it, because it's very easy to go over it. As for the concoctions, well, I recommend you get the HP one, the Dark Cider, the Root Water, and of course the Sanguine Vapor. I think this is the only occasion where you can use the Sanguine Vapor, because the damage is not really explained very well. Is it after armor, before armor? Is it total DPS increase, or how does it work? I think this should just reduce your total damage reduction by 10%. That way it would be more clear. So the Frenzy Dust, the Bullet Storm, the Brewmaster Cork, Signet, Alchemy Stone, Ring, Hardcore Metal Band, which always will be active because of the bleeding, which is constant damage. This you can have a lot of changes over here, but I recommend you play like this because the Sparkfire shotgun does a massive amount of damage anyway. And fire rate, ranged crit chance, and health. Now you can still die pretty easy, so that's why I prefer to fight against Alrata. Alrata is kind of like the best bosses in basically every turn. I'll show you why. And he only stretched or shield. So this is the normal DPS output of the build. As you can see, we're still doing a lot of damage. We don't need to dodge or do anything else. Now the problem is, as you can see, I don't see my buffs very clearly, because the developers didn't think about this situation where he had so many buffs. Also, let me show you what happens when you die. And this is why I like to play against Alrata. The damage he can deal is huge. So you'll not get away with cheap tricks like, you know, walking backwards and stuff like that. It's just a lot of pure damage. So basically at, I don't know why, oh yeah, we lost, as you can see, 2 concoctions. We only have 5, so that's a huge flaw of the build design of the game and massive oversight for anyone trying to do this build. But on the other hand, as you can see, this is why there are no really 100% tanks, because with almost max damage reduction with 188 HP, Alrata still crushes you like a little ant with his huge body. Anyway, let's go to the next one. The next build will be a little more interesting, because that was supposed to be kind of like the introduction, the most intensive in terms of cost and items you needed to get. This one is so easy to use and so much fun. Now this build basically has infinite mod power, and it actually has a lot of not so well explained things. They might nerf some of these things, I'll admit it. The Tremor actually does explosion damage, which means everyone will burn for 200 damage for 2 seconds, but there's a catch to this. Let me show you this. Mod damage, elemental damage, health. There's a catch to all of this. They'll burn very slowly and very strong. And also have a lot of elemental damage coming our way. So that means we'll basically be throwing... I guess we can also use it like this. We'll be throwing the... This is the fun part. We'll be throwing the Tremor, which will deal explosion damage and damage over time because of the fire. Then you can just use the gun, the alpha gun, without even shooting one single bullet. We'll be using it for the mod. So shoot 3 of these. They do 50% more damage. Switch. Switch. You will get confused sometimes, so you are supposed to do it like this. The problem with the game, as you can see, they didn't really fix the problem with changing fire modes. So yeah, okay, now I'm getting into the rhythm. As you can see, you have to play a little bit more with that. So throw a tremor and then switch and use this. And it works very, very nicely. Let's go to the next build. Yeah, you need to practice with it a little bit, but again, it's a build where you don't even use a single bullet and it works against everything and everyone. Now, I don't have time for fancy edits, so let's just go straight to the point. Next build.
Bleeding won't stop.
Now, this one is a lot more interesting because it uses the savior. So the basic mechanic over here is that we'll be doing a lot of damage and also have a lot of crit chance with these items, but we'll also be doing a lot of fire damage, and the Firestone plus the Harmonizer will help us supercharge these things. So we're supercharging the savior gun. And you'll deal a lot of physical damage, you'll deal a lot of weak spot damage, a lot of crits. I think the crit calculation was around 70% crit chance for every single hit, if you do the math.
Here we go.
So let's start. Look at the boss, like the creep. Only activate this after you fire. Okay, let's activate it now. And you can kind of rapid fire it. It can deal about 3000 weak point damage if you hit a crit, of course. Switch. I was out of stamina. So you can use a relic to recharge your ammo. I'm playing kind of badly, but you get the idea. Okay, I'm in the zone and the rhythm of this gun. Oh, he actually kind of dodged my shots. You get the idea. Let's go to the next one. It's very fun because think about the ability of the gun or of the mod. It's not really, again, not that much use, but weak spot hits and kills will damage the other enemies for a fraction, or not a fraction, 30% of the initial damage dealt, and will apply the burning. So that burning that is applied to other enemies, it will help you clear rooms of enemies and kill bosses super easy, because you're not only dealing physical damage, you're also dealing a lot of damage over time and applying a lot of damage over time. And this will help refill everything. It's such a cool build, I like it a lot. It also makes the gun usable. The savior doesn't have a lot of builds that work. Okay, what do we have over here? So it's more or less the same principle, but it's with the Sparkfire and the Meridian. Oh, this will be glorious. This is basically explosion damage, and the Meridian has a few weird interactions. If you shoot the enemy once with a single Meridian shot, it will deal 1500 damage when all of the dots are applied. Again, 1500 damage for each shot that lasts 2 seconds. I know, it's a bit crazy if you think about it, but that's exactly how it works. The turret is kind of like an extra thing. As you can see, it's still the flamethrower, so this is the melt your enemies build. So much fun. Also, the turret will do more damage if you stay in your little area. It's kind of like a little catch, because that actually... Song of Wrathbringer. The turret is actually a shot blocker, so you can stay with the active... Yeah, you're supposed to shoot slow like this. Song of Wrathbringer to reduce the damage of the enemy. Let's go closer to our turret, because apparently this turret is kind of low range. And let me show you again. Ah, why did you have to do this move? See, this is why I like this guy. He's afraid of coming closer to us. See, we have 3 burning stacks. Anyway, it's an amazing build, and I think it will gain a lot of traction over time. So you can actually step behind the turret, and the turret will block the shots, and you can activate the aura, and you'll be completely safe against ranged attacks or other enemies, which is kind of cool. I don't know, it's just a lot of fun stuff to try out this build. Next one. Also, it melts away enemies very easy. Now, this is sadly my only damage over time build, because it's not working as intended. I hope they fix it soon enough. But as it is right now, it's still manageable, workable. More duration, more damage. It's mostly based on more damage, and you actually need a little bit of time before the mod starts kicking in and doing damage. And I think, why do you have the Timekeeper Jewel? Well, because it increases the duration of the miasma. By the way, it's pronounced miasma, not... someone pronounced it in a very funny way. It lasts 30 seconds and you don't get the damage increase, so that's what I was talking about. But this will be an extremely well designed build once everything is working as intended. Firestorm, and anyway, we'll just launch a bunch of balls at our enemies. The enemy will be overwhelmed by our powers.
Alright, come and get some.
So be careful, because the stupid fireball will bounce off the electric ball. Okay, now we have the stacks we need. Technically, the damage of the fire vortex should kind of supercharge the balls, but I'm not sure if it's doing that or not. Okay, let's go to the next build. Like I said, it's not as efficient as it could be, because the character itself, the archetype, is bugged. But it does the damage, and it will get you through the fights anyway. Turret Conserver, you know what this is? This is the best melee build in the game, and this will surely get nerfed. I don't imagine the developers leaving the game like this. This is the only melee build that will get nerfed, because it does too much damage and it's too much synergy, if you can say that. Also, you can choose whatever heart you like, but I like the attack speed, melee crit chance. Don't go away here to debuff the enemy, healing shot, but you can also use the scrap shot. Let me see what the scrap shot is. I rarely use it. Okay. Because it can actually slow down even bosses, but I'm not sure if it works. It just applies the effect. Now I'll explain this a little better, because it's so cool. I don't know what to say about this. It's such a fun build. Basically, you will crit all the time because of the overdrive. The Juggernaut will allow you to stay alive a lot longer, but also melee damage 50%. This will always be active, because look at this, the Ring of Atonement. By the way, as someone pointed out, you can actually... it was a good catch. You should replace this with this. It's the same lifesteal, but you can also use your guns to have the lifesteal. Okay, we're back. So remember, we're using the Alchemist because we can have also free concoction, which is the Tonic, the Healthing, and the Sanguine Vapor. Plus we changed it to the Shield Hub, because otherwise we'll have a lot of problems. So yeah, remember to also use the syringes, extra healing. Wait for me, Tarota, I'm coming for you! As you can see, he has the slow icon, but I'm not sure if it works, so look at this. This is just basic attacks. He means business when he does that. Your health is recharged almost instantly. It seems I'm not getting any shield. I wonder why. Anyway, it's a weird build, a buggy build. And we almost killed him without even looking at him. You can out-heal the damage so easy with this. Oh, calm down, we still need the boss. What are these effects I'm getting? Yeah, also we have a 5% crit chance from the Alchemist, which is why I like it so much. Next build. Over here we have a build that is based on pure damage, so you'll do a lot of damage and you'll also crit a lot, so it's DPS and also just pure damage because of the way Anna Crystal works and the Miasma, plus that the crit chance, plus the carry warband, plus the Sapphire Gemstone, which is meant to allow us to use Bullet Storm basically very fast. Death Brand. This is going to be glorious, unless we die in the first seconds. That's also possible. This. Apply shield. Okay, everything is working. Just look at this. It's like you're slapping the boss with a stick, or I don't know, a fly swatter. Yeah, you'll need to learn to dodge with this build, but otherwise it's amazing. And because of the way the crits work in this game and the ring, we'll have the Miasma skill up in no time. But there's very little downtime for this. You're just taking out chunks of the boss, which is kind of impressive and scary at the same time, while having enough, you know, life steal to actually hang on. The problem is the Sparkfire shotgun doesn't have a lot of ammo capacity. But you can just improvise as you go. This is a very special one as well. You know, I always wanted to have a carry build, a heavy weapon carry build. So you actually will carry your turrets in your hands and attack the enemy with them, which is kind of a cool concept. You know, I mean, it's the basic thing. This is a very tanky build to the point where you can call this a tank that actually can deal damage. And also have a lot of ways to refill all shield. Currently the Knight's Guard will refill your shield if you equip the Shielded Fragmentator. It's a bit weird, but we just go with the flow, like I said. I don't know. It's a bit of a problematic thing with equipping the thing. I'll just leave that on video so you can see the problems. Yeah, nothing can hit us. Plus it pierces everything. You may be wondering, well, what's the catch? No, there's no catch. You can also reapply the other stuff. Use a heart or two to reload, and use it again. Flash caster is very important, otherwise you'll not be able to do this so fast. Yeah, good luck catching us, look at all. It's also super easy to get perfect dodges like this. That will give us some even more shield. I guess Talata is especially weak to this build. So drop it, reload, reset. You are good to go again. So fun to use. And as a bonus you have the Hack Summoner build. Now it's hacks because it does a lot of damage. I was not expecting so much damage when I first tried it, but it does much more than you expect. Now you see something weird here. You might be wondering, why is the red ring of death here? Well, because it applies all of the effects 2 times, and it will actually apply the effect of the curse surge as well, the Night Squad, the cursed effect. And I'm not sure if it actually reduces the max HP of the boss, but I just like the effect being on the enemy. So yeah, just pure damage everywhere, and this will exactly work as intended. Now you do have to be careful because you are so squishy with this, but doesn't matter at the end of the day, right? Activate everything. Let's use one of these. Look at the boss just basically melting away in front of you. He's already half HP, and the cost might work on him. That's only one single cycle of the build with the summons, with the mod summons. Anyway, tell me in the comment section what is your favorite build, if you have any other suggestions, or I don't know, what will happen when the patch arrives, because definitely some of these will be changed, but for now, as you can see, most of them work very well, even when they're bugged or underpowered or underperforming. They still are a bit too strong for the game in a way. We'll see. See you next time, bye bye.